You spent your whole life hearing about Judgment Day, rolling your eyes and putting it off. Now you are standing in front of the throne. The books are open, and the one question burning in your mind is, why didn't I take this seriously? Chapter 1: The Moment Everything Changes. It's just another ordinary Tuesday afternoon. You're sitting at your desk, mindlessly scrolling through your phone. A text from your mom, a news notification, a meme from a friend. Nothing out of the ordinary. And then you feel a tremor. Not in the ground, but in the air itself. You look up from your screen, and you can't believe what you're seeing. The sun turns pitch black, not dimming, but extinguished like someone snuffed out a candle. The moon overhead bleeds crimson. Joel the prophet saw this coming thousands of years ago when he wrote in Joel 2:31, "The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord come." That was neither poetry nor metaphor. It was a warning. Above you, bright points of light begin to fall as stars plummet from their positions. Apostle John described it as stars dropping as a fig tree drops its late figs when it is shaken by a mighty wind. One after another, dozens, then hundreds, streaking across the darkened sky like a cosmic evacuation. You blink, and when your eyes open again, reality itself tears apart. The heavens split like a scroll being rolled up, and that's exactly when it starts dawning on you what's really going on. The fabric of the atmosphere peeling back as it reveals something beyond, something massive and terrifying. Matthew 24:27 promised his return would be as the lightning that lighteneth out of the east and shineth even unto the west. Every person on earth sees this at once. That businessman in Tokyo, the farmer in Iowa, and even the taxi driver in Lagos. Billions of eyes are all witnessing the same impossible sight. There is no hiding and no second location where the event has not started yet. Your coworker who sits 3 feet from you is gone and the chair is still spinning where he sat. Her coffee is still steaming. You stumble to the hallway on shaking legs. Your manager's office is empty. The receptionist's desk is also abandoned. Down on the street, screams fill the air. Car horns are blaring endlessly where drivers vanish mid-commute. Metal crunching as driverless vehicles collide. Do you remember the verse Matthew 24:40-41? Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left. You thought you would have time to get serious, to figure things out, and to stop scrolling and start believing. The separation already happened, but sadly, you are still here. Then you hear it. A sound so massive your chest vibrates. So loud it feels like it's coming from inside your skull. That earth-shattering blast is the trumpet. It's the call, the announcement mentioned in the Bible. It is sudden, instantaneous, and without warning. The office lights flicker and die as the power grid collapses. You peep through the window and watch fires erupt across the city. People have flooded the streets, their faces upturned to the fractured sky, to the blood-red moon, and to the empty spaces where loved ones stood seconds ago. And then your phone buzzes in your trembling hand. It's a text from your sister. Where are you? What's happening? You stare at the screen. Your thumb hovers over the keyboard. But what do you say? And somewhere beneath all the panic and screaming, you already know the answer. In fact, you've always known. Chapter 2: The Throne of Judgment. Then something pulls you forward. And no, it's not hands or chains. Just inevitability. Like gravity, but worse. You cannot resist it or turn back. Your feet move without your permission. Around you, the ground splits open. Thousands, or even perhaps millions of graves crack apart like eggshells. The ocean churns violently as it expels bodies that have been submerged for centuries. Battlefields across history disgorge their dead. From Holocaust victims to plague victims, accident victims, and even murder victims. Every person who ever died is rising. They are everywhere, filling the space around you. Billionaires in $1,000 suits standing next to homeless men. Ancient Romans in togas, medieval peasants, and teenagers in hoodies. Even grandmothers and infants. Billions upon billions of human beings, spanning all of recorded history and beyond, converging on a single point. Then you see Jesus, seated on a throne so bright it hurts to look at directly. It is pure white. Revelation 20:11 describes it perfectly. A great white throne, and the one seated upon it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. The planet itself cannot bear his presence. The sky peels back and reality buckles under the weight of absolute holiness. Movement catches your eye. In front of the throne, massive volumes of books appear. They are stacked impossibly high, and then one by one, they start opening. Your stomach drops. These are records. Detailed accounts of every word you spoke, every thought you entertained, and every motive behind every action. To your left, a woman collapses to her knees. You watch as her life plays out. She made donations to charity, but the screen shows what she was thinking. The Instagram post, the likes, the comments calling her generous. Her hands tremble as her true intentions are exposed to everyone watching. A pastor stands frozen 3 people over. He quoted scriptures from his pulpit and delivered sermons with passion. But then the books reveal what happened behind closed doors. From the money he took, the vulnerable people he manipulated, and the abuse he covered up with Bible verses. His face goes ashen white. And now it's your turn. The book opens and your name is at the top. Every secret you swore would stay buried. Every lie you told yourself was harmless. Every time you chose comfort over conviction. It's all there in permanent ink. You open your mouth to explain, justify, and provide context, but nothing comes out. For the first time in your life, you have no defense, no spin, and no story that makes you the hero. Paul wrote in 2 Corinthians 5:10, "For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that each one may receive what is due him for the things done while in the body, whether good or bad." Every single one of us without exceptions. No lawyers or chances of appealing. Jesus stands. The movement sends a wave of silence across the billions gathered. He begins to separate people. Matthew 25:32 describes it like a shepherd dividing sheep from goats. To his right, the people whose faces flood with relief. Their sins have been covered, forgiven, and washed clean by grace they accepted when it was offered. But to his left, others whose works are weighed in the balance and found insufficient. Those who rejected him, ignored him, and put him off until later. You feel yourself moving, one direction or the other. Which side? You already know. Chapter 3. The Verdict and What Comes After. Jesus turns to those on his left and his voice cuts through the silence. Matthew 25:41 mentions his exact words, "Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels." This is not a timeout or cooling off period. It is conscious existence, without end, separated from God. Revelation 21:4 describes the new creation where death itself ceases to exist. But think about what that means for those on the left. No death, no escape, no end. What they are bound to experience is eternal awareness in a place never meant for humans, a destination designed for Satan and his demons. For those on the right, a recreated earth awaits. God's presence fills every corner. Suffering, pain, and death are all erased. But you are not thinking about them anymore. You are thinking about where you are. Matthew 24:36 states it clearly. No one knows the day or hour of Christ's return. Not the angels, not even Jesus himself knew during his time on earth. Only God the Father. And the worrying part, it could happen today. It could even happen tonight while you sleep or even while you're reading this sentence. The signs Jesus described, such as wars erupting across continents, earthquakes increasing in frequency, famines, false prophets gaining massive followings, and believers facing persecution globally, are not distant warnings anymore. When you open any news app, you will realize they are current events. So, the sky could split open tomorrow morning. The trumpet could sound tonight. When he looks at you, not at what you post online, not at what you tell people you believe, not at the version of yourself you've carefully constructed, but the actual you, the one no filter can hide. Will you hear, "Well done," or depart from me?